talking about the player themselves.
Player.
Alright, boys. Tensions are rising. I can feel it, and the stakes are climbing. Boys, let's take it from here. Show us how it plays out.
Okay, so game number 1 between Dominator Esports as well as Team Vitality. The junglers, like we compared them at the earlier parts of the day, going to dictate the pace of this game.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of importance on that role. I mean, look, you don't win or lose instantly based on the jungler, but there's a lot of influence, especially from the early game when you're able to farm and you're able to kind of, set the pace by getting some potential kills in those outer lanes.
Yes, and L doing a very good job to assist Jill here. They have entrance into the Crimson Golem. So DMT, this is stock standard in terms of aggression, and there's no defense coming in.
Yeah, no defense, because, I mean, Zankyu is all the way in the south side. He's all the way by himself, but Dominator Esports picking up the Crimson literally for free.
Yeah, this is not ideal. And this is also due to the fact that I think they did no lane swaps here.
Yeah, no lane swaps. But look, Team Vitality here, I think they understood that how Zonk was going to rotate. They've done a lot of research. These two teams are so familiar with one another. They know how Zankyu wants to go for that blue buff early and then go to the south side.
Yeah, but for now, Vitality not in a great position. No Crimson buff to deal with for Zankyu. And this is going to open up aggression from the side of DMT.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the top lane. Charlotte versus Mainkan. Who are you giving the edge to?
At the start of the game, I would think Charlotte does a little bit better, but as the level continues to rise, then Mainkan will be able to kind of burst out the Charlotte. This is really a timing-based matchup. Who lands the skills more?
Yeah. No, to be honest, I really like the Mainkan, especially later on. Getting to that back line, I mean, Jurl and Ahem, this is a perfect hero to do so. You have a lot of mobility and to be able to kind of control. All you need is that bit of control for the rest of the team to kind of secondary initiate.
Yeah, but this clash lane matchup is really trying to catch smoke, because if you time it right, yeah, you can kind of instantly avoid a lot of different things.
Okay, all right, okay. And if we're going back to this one, Zankyu, again, trying to get all that farm, taking as much as possible, but most of it has been stolen away from him. Dominator doing a good job. And this is why whenever you see an Ogren on the NA team, you want to be aggressive, you got to take away stuff.
Yes, and it stifles the growth. Zankyu now at level 4, he's already 1 level behind TNX.
Yeah, I mean, still very early. It's 2 minutes, 30 seconds in, but it's got to be like a feels bad man. Like, oh man, they're like really honing in on me, trying to take away my farm, making things a little bit difficult for me.
Which kind of piques my curiosity, right? So on Team Vitality now, if you're in the position of Zankyu, what do? Where is this recovery going to come from?
Well, I mean, hang on.
They actually maybe get the kill. Zankyu uses his ultimate, will not survive this. The stun comes in, first blood goes to Jurl.
Well, dying is not going to help. Okay, let me help with that one. But look, I think that it's more of like Team Vitality funneling that farm in. Maybe you give up your lane creeps in the mid lane as much as possible. You got to get him going. Him dying early and giving up first blood, absolutely huge for Dominator Esports.
Yes, and it's given to Jill, right? So he's going to have a big burst of power spike damage as well. And Zan here, I think with the commitment of the Audi, he did manage to force out the Dragon form. So it's not ideal for Vitality. They have no openings.
Yeah, but all for alt, right? I think that they'll be both happy with that. Nobody died. As long as you're staying alive and you're sticking in the lane and you're continuing to farm, I don't think it's the end of the world for both of these guys. Again, Ahem and Zan, these guys will be going at it, but look at how 19 has been rotating around, again, trying to provide that space for Zankyu.
He needs to give information to the team, because right now, Jill has been completely not stopped. He has been stealing camps. He's taken, look, he has the Crimson buff on him.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is why the Mai is kind of on point. It's like once it gets going and it's able to kind of move around, it's going to be super annoying to deal with.
Yes, a lot of people are asking, right, over the course of the few days of KWC, why is Mai picked up? Because when she has a lead, she is so hard to play against.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I mean, look, in the late game, she's kind of underwhelming because she's just so squishy.
Yeah, but they get that ultimate down. The beast is unleashed, but it's TNX who secures the Tyrant. But it's looking like a bad fight for the side of DMT. They will back off. Nobody really dies. Maybe just Gui at this point, but 1-to-1, there is a bit of life in the side of Vitality.
Yeah, Guyu going down. I mean, he's trading his life away for that Tyrant. Not the worst thing in the world. I think that the Dominator Esports will be happy with that, considering like the Clash lanes net worth are tied. So again, it's all about really TNX kind of getting going. Once he hits those items, that power spike, then they're able to slow siege together.
I'm kind of curious about L in this way, right? Because, like you said, this advantage that DMT have acquired for themselves, if L is able to force them into bad positions, Joe is going to have a great time. TNX is going to be able to land his furball as well, and everything sets up Ahem and Guyu to get the final kills.
And you bring up a good point, because whenever you see the Leon Po, I don't like him as the initial initiator. I like him as the secondary one. Like, let them group up, and TNX is like the perfect guy to do that with this Agudo.
And I think Agudo might be the best pick coming in from the experience of watching TNX over the past few months.
Yeah, just rein him in, man. Let them stick together. It's one of those things where, because he's like kind of lacking in the mobility department, or compared to some of the other junglers, that you're like, he's forced to play like a team game.
That's kind of funny, because yes, TNX is a team player, guys. It's just that he's sometimes he gets ahead of himself.
Yeah, he just gets a little overly aggressive at times, thinks he's strong, and gets a little out of position. He's trying to make a play, right? And I don't like, you know, I don't want to speak negatively of him, because you need that confidence to really just go in as the jungler.
Yeah, Unbridled Arbor is going to land that first stun. They're trying to get the burst in, but it's not enough just yet. TNX falling very low. Will give his life, but Ahem gets onto Tufts as well. It's not looking like a decent fight for the side of Dominator. Losing the jungler, but dear Joe, he comes in, gets a knock up as well. Has to follow up, but there's no more damage coming in from this other DMT. Vitality, they're performing a lot better.
Yeah, they're going a lot better, but they went all in on the TNX machine. They tried to ensure that they got that kill. Tufts trades his life away. I think that they'll be fine with that, because again, you got to get Zankyu going a little bit and hopefully catching up, because he's still a little bit behind.
Yeah, DMT actually recovering quite well, pushing away Zankyu, and Ahem secures that Crimson buff for himself.
Yeah, Dominator Esports up about 2K, so they're in the lead. I mean, yeah, TNX was down, but now they're on the chase here.
Yeah, they won slightly with that fight, but Zankyu's still behind.
Yeah, still behind, but Gerald making him pay a little bit.
He forces out the out, gets a knock up with the Neil. Here comes TNX as well. Furball will not hit the mark, but the damage comes in. TNX gets Neil. 19 falling low as well. Ahem fed with the meat of this guy as two members are falling down. Zen as a run for his life. They're chasing in. Ahem, a double kill as DMT hit the stride.
And Ahem, this is why he's so good on that Loong, just being able to flash forward. And sure, he gets that kill with that Flaming Palm. He could have gone out on his Dragon, but he decides to walk it off. But Dominator, just a great play, catching them out. The L Tremor Smash was on point. What a great initiation by him.
Yeah, that's the strength of the DMPO, right? And right now, look at the amount of aggression that DMT are putting. This is the DMT that we wanted to see since day one.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to see it, but, you know, they brought a little drama into the league, right? By kind of a little bit of a stumble. I mean, let's check out this replay here. Look, Neil was getting gone on, no real chance, but look at that burst ram, 3-man stun, and L setting it up for everyone else. Zankyu has to run away. They find Zan, who gets over the wall because Ahem, not scared, flashes forward, gets the kill.
The big thing is they actually isolated Zan, right? And they cut off that escape route for him and forcing Zankyu to go in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I mean, once they were, like, Neil was down, it was pretty much, we got to retreat. We just got to stay alive. And, you know, you got to kind of go your separate way, so to speak, and just try to stay alive. Vitality got paid. They paid for their sins.
And what's more painful and most painful about what's happening now is the fact that they have taken 3 different turrets on the side of DMT. So Vitality, they don't really have a lot of space to work with.
Not a lot of space, down about 4K, and it's making it even more uncomfortable as Dominator Esports looking to just invade. But Guyu getting low.
Yep, he's one-on-one, but the support is coming in. It is not a fair fight. Guyu takes that fall. And for now, DMT, they are lessened in power.
Yeah, Guyu just kind of, I mean, he was outnumbered to begin with, and then there were more members of Team Vitality showing up. It was like, oh, you are on the wrong side of the neighborhood, my friend.
Exactly, but that's what a Clash laner is supposed to do, right? It's supposed to be aggressive, push them away. Unfortunately, it did not work out this time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Clash laners are supposed to do, and they were supposed to die, no?
Not like that. I mean, yes, a lot of times my Clash laners do that, but hey, we learned today.
Yeah, we definitely do. And Zan
Yeah, big knockup. Zhang Q gets that ultimate, but once again, they turn around. Maybe they want to go for more. TNX did drop the furball. He does have access to a little bit of mini stuns and lightning charges on his basic attacks. But for now, they just want to push them away. No need to go over aggressive.
Yeah, just stay calm. You know, I don't think Team Vitality are completely out of this. Yes, this like 4K net worth lead is a bit daunting, but Team Vitality still have options. They have their T2 still standing at this point, and that could lead to potentially more. But again, they need to figure out a way to kind of get Zhang Q his farm, because he's about 500 gold behind TNX.
Okay, not the biggest difference. In fact, the biggest difference comes to me in terms of gold is the farm and the roam, right? And this is a concern for Vitality, but it's not something that will cost them the game just yet.
Yeah, Shadow Tyrant is going to be like spawning at this point, but again, Team Vitality, you cannot give this up. I think that you have to contest. You need to make things a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's why Zankyu's hiding in the corner, and with the Radiance, L surprises him and reveals his positioning. They might want to go for the reset here.
Yeah, it looks like they're backing off. They want him to reset, but it looks like they're going for the flank themselves.
Yeah, he of course spots them out. It is going to be a small but Mexican standoff at this point.
Yeah, the mid T2 is under siege. Tyrant, they're going to start this one back off. Team Vitality, though, yes, they're just trying to protect their own jungle at this point, but man, it's all about this Tyrant here.
Yeah, Zanq taking a lot of damage in the front lines here. They're looking for an opening, but they're pushing them away. Jill right now just making sure that he stays his dominance in the jungle of Vitality.
Yeah, Zanq was just too low. There was no reason. I mean, there's no way that they could have contested at that point. They were trying to go in, potentially going in with that vision but provided by Tufts. He gets a little bit of a knock-up and realizes that, hey, we don't have the time or the life to really do this.
Yeah, and they're looking for an opening again. If Jill gets this, this is going to suck. Oh, no!
Churl, the sniping, and they have both of the red buffs. Ahem just lost it right now, but that was actually huge, slowing down Zanq even more.
Yeah, you were asking about the Charlotte pick. Why is it ideal in this matchup? Look, you're able to poke from distance, and there's nothing that Vitality can do. They have the goal lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's super annoying to deal with, that tri-slash and the potential jump in, but look, L providing vision himself.
Yeah, this is a pressurizing situation for the side of Team Vitality. This could be very well a T3 for the side of DMT here if they play their cards right. But for now, Vitality, hang on.
Hanging on right now, but like, look, with this wild growth, they're going.
They get the stun. Ahem is far away. Zanq in the middle of two members, but there's not enough damage. No support. Neil falls low, and Vitality, they had the idea, but the execution did not match it.
All right, that 19 Umbrella Outburst was like literally my Umbrella Outburst, where I like pushed them away and in a bad spot where my team can't catch them. And unfortunately for Team Vitality, yes, ults were expended, and you do survive, but again, you didn't get anything out of this.
I think, okay, look, the biggest thing that they got out of it was that the pressure on the T3s were relieved for the moment. So that's a decent win for the side of Vitality.
I mean, they'll take it. They need to stay alive. They need to stay alive.
Yeah, a potential kill as Tufts is taken out by Jill. This is why the Myers picked the level advantage, the item advantage, level 14 for Jill, and he makes it work.
Yeah, Tufts, what did I just say? You need to stay alive. Come on, dying like that, especially a solo, Jill outclassing him.
Yeah, and now it is a T3 under pressure on the top side. We're going to be working hard on that. Gets the turret for the team. DMT looking a little bit more dominant in game number one. The second turret in the middle taken down as well, as Gui is just throwing blades at them.
Yeah, look, a single kill, and they just turned it into 3 T3s. Absolutely amazing for Dominate Esports. They're looking to close this game out soon.
Yep, they're by 1,000 cuts. They need something, and they need a miracle. Vitality, something needs to happen. It needs to happen right now. Zanq, he goes in, gets a blood rage down as well. But on the backline, they're falling low. The flash committed by Neo as well. There is not enough control on the side of Vitality as they try to make their stand, but it will not work because DMT have shown up. Game number one goes to DMT.
Clean. That was the Dominator Esports, to be honest. If we're talking about day one, this is the Dominator Esports that we expected.